You know what, Sam?
What?
I never had any doubt.
Sure. Well, you know what? That's my line. All right, Sam. Not your line. I'm the one that says I never had any doubt. But Sam, at some point during that game, we both had some doubts. And
Never
we
had
are
any doubt.
okay, yeah, sure. Um do you want me to read out some of your text messages about this game?
Hey, Sam.
Yes.
I think we need to talk about the letter of the day for the Washington Capitals.
Oh my gosh. Oh
It's
my god.
L.
It's
The
what?
letter of the day is L.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something explicit, but okay.
No, L.
An
No,
L. Yes,
no,
that
but
is the cleaner
Tom.
version.
But Tom Wilson, huge Caniac.
Yes, huge Caniac. Hey, he wants to be part of the storm surge, Sam.
Yeah. Hey, you know
Can
what?
you
If Washington,
believe that?
if I guess he wants to change sides halfway through the series.
No, I don't blame him. But Sam, if it gets to a game 6, which it might, you never know. But if it does, we have a way for possibly discounted tickets if they use a promo code, right, Sam?
We use promo code Caniac Report, get $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek, get you into the stands. Guess what? If we don't have a game number 6 in Carolina, that means you can use it for games either 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 in Carolina for the Eastern Conference Finals. Those tickets won't be cheap. Might as well help yourself get as big of a discount as you possibly can. So don't forget promo code Caniac Report, $20 off first purchase. Why would you leave free money on the table?
Exactly. And also, if you feel like you want to donate to us, there is a link for that in both our YouTube description and wherever you get your podcast. And remember, if you are watching us on YouTube, be sure to give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another episode. And if you're listening to us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever, please leave a rating and a review. It really does help us out.
Yes.
Sam, let's talk about the other series going on. There's only 3 other series going on because of the quarterfinals so far. And let's start with the other series out in the East. Toronto and Florida. They're a deadlock at 2 games apiece. What do you think of that series, Sam?
That series is going to be interesting and it matters to us because if Carolina
Yes, it
advances,
does.
we'll play the winner of that series. Uh, I hope they beat the hell out of each other.
Oh,
Just
I do too.
slog, you know, make it as gruesome and as nasty and as long as can be, especially if we win Thursday. Let them just fight it out.
Yes, and if it was up to me and Sam, I think you'd agree with that too. If we had to choose who would win, Toronto, just because I think I'd rather face someone like Wool instead of Bobrovsky or Stolars. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably the feeling for most people is they would rather play Toronto. And it's not, at the end of the day, both teams are very good. Both teams could easily beat us. But I think we could beat both teams as well. I think we can beat Florida, and I think we can beat Toronto. I mean, it's possible once you get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think anything is truly possible at that point.
Yeah, it's
But
just
I think,
I just hope they can win one game. The Canes can.
yeah,
We
but
get there.
I think one thing is interesting about this team is every time they're underestimated, they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's again, we're not there yet. One more win and we get there. And if that happens, if you take a look over the last 7 years, 2019, we weren't even supposed to make the playoffs.
No.
Make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. 21 Eastern Conference Finals, Florida Panthers. Maybe it was 2022. Eastern Conference Finals, Florida Panthers. I don't specifically remember that one yet. Let's say 20. Was it 23?
I'm looking it up here, but
It was
yeah.
23. 2023 Eastern Conference Finals because that following year
Yeah,
was
it
the
was
cancel year.
2023. Yep.
So 24 knocked out in the second round. 25 we're well on our way to the Eastern Conference Finals. We're in the driver's seat. There is only a maximum of 3 games left. Carolina needs to win just one, and one of those is at home.
Yes, it is. I mean, it'd be great for Carolina to win the game at Washington, but if you don't, you come back home. And I think
Which is fine.
yep, completely fine. And the other series, both are out in the West, Sam, is the Winnipeg and Dallas series. Now, I watched the last period of the last game. Dallas opened it up, or I should say Mikko Rantanen opened it up. I do not like the guy. I really don't. But I like the other players on the team. And I think from a Hurricanes point of view, I'd probably rather have Winnipeg win that series. Although it'd be interesting to see Dallas and Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup final.
Who's easier to beat? Winnipeg. Who do I want to play? I want to play Dallas.
Really? Okay.
I want to beat Mikko Rantanen.
Don't you?
I want to have the opportunity to attempt to beat Mikko Rantanen.
I think if we do beat Mikko Rantanen, it's going to be so funny. It's going to be so satisfying for us Hurricane fans, because I'm not saying every Hurricanes fan doesn't like Rantanen, but I think you could argue a majority of Hurricane fans do not like Mikko Rantanen. And Sam, the other series, which you actually started to watch tonight, and that is the Edmonton Vegas series.
That series is getting nasty. I think Edmonton's going to find a way to pull this off. I just think
they're up 2-0 right now as we're recording. So we'll see how that series go. I mean, you can never count out Connor Hellebuyck and Leon Draisaitl. I just think if you look at both teams on paper, I would say Vegas has the edge. But that's just how I feel. Edmonton has generational offense, but I just think Vegas is more of a constructed team. I mean, do you agree with that or not, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl are just a force. And I was just watching this game, and they were just flying all over the ice. Honestly, so was their depth players, too. I mean, Edmonton just looked energized tonight. If Edmonton wins, again, I think it's just their star power just took over. And they have a lot of it. So Edmonton can win that series. I thought Stuart Skinner looked very good as well. And it's just, again, can Stuart Skinner continue to play? Can their top guys continue to produce? If that ever stops, and then they're in trouble.
Yeah, it definitely does. But Sam, just imagine the final two teams in the Western Conference being Dallas and Edmonton. Boy, that's going to be a matchup. It really is.
No, yeah, it's going to be unbelievable.
Yes. And that's kind of it for the other series going on. And Sam, let's get to talking about the Hurricanes. Now, I remember the last episode, you talked about the concerns with Chatfield and Martinook. Well, good news. They were able to play today's game. So no permanent injuries there. That's good.
Yep.
And funny enough, a player that we did see on the ice for warm-ups was Nikishkin.
Yeah, so that tells me Chatfield was game time.
Yeah, that tells me Chatfield was game
time.
But
I think it was nice of them to give Nikishin that, let him get out there and take some warm-ups, get a little taste. Chatfield got hit pretty hard, a little slow to get up at one point in the game too. I cannot believe that we'll escape eventually without someone getting hurt, especially if we end up playing Florida, and especially if we end up beating Washington soundly in Washington on Thursday. If we go up big, expect Washington to start taking headshots.
Yeah, I mean, Washington, the name of the game for them is being physical. So what's weird is like these past 4 games so far, I don't think Washington has been as physical as like they were against Montreal.
Washington's slow.
They are slow.
I think they gave it all in Montreal, and they're just slow. They aren't able to keep up with the high flying Hurricanes up team, and I think they held it down in Washington. Okay, but I think for them to really have had a chance in this series, they needed to win both in Washington, and them not doing that. In all honesty, I mean, they could have lost. I mean, they could have been swept tonight, and I think that's just a reality that they're thinking in their minds. Is Carolina? I mean, we played a good game in Game 1. We played a good game. I think a good chunk of that game in Game 2. We probably should have had more than one goal, but at home we've figured out Logan Thompson. We've scored 4 at least on him.
Yeah, I
In
mean
both games. So
it's interesting when you look at Thompson's performance. I mean, the first 2 games at Washington. Now, granted, Washington, or I would say just the home team in general, they're going to have somewhat of an advantage. And Thompson, the first 2 games was a stone wall, but these last 2 games, Sam, I mean, they're like even the Walker goal. I was just like, wow, this is not the Thompson that we saw in the first 2 games.
And again, when they played Montreal, Montreal's very inexperienced in the playoffs. They're young. Washington intimidated them. Logan Thompson wasn't that busy. And also Montreal's not a team that shoots the puck a lot. But this team shoots it a lot. So Logan Thompson has gotten a lot of work, and he's not used to that. And Carolina, again, they're the better team. They're the better offensive team. They're the better. I mean, Carolina's depth is excellent.
Yeah.
If you look at Washington, their best player is 40, if not almost 40. Dylan Strome's a good young player, but he's not quite there yet. Pierre-Luc Dubois, solid player, but he's streaky. Tom Wilson's been probably their best player in the series, I think. He's been very good. I hate the guy, but he's been excellent. Tom Wilson's been excellent this playoff series. He's not why they're losing by any stretch. He's been remarkably disciplined for most of the time, and he's popped an attitude on occasions, but he's been very good. Made a lot of great defensive plays. He's gotten a goal, I think, maybe 2. Tom Wilson's looked very good, and I'm not going to take that from the player. I think he's been their best guy, but the Washington Capitals are only as good as their captain, and Ovechkin got a goal tonight, but it was a 5-on-3 that was gift wrapped to them by the officials and the league. In my mind, I think it's just clear that they wanted to give the Caps an opportunity to get back in this game for Ovechkin and to get him his power play goal, which is basically if you give the Caps a 5-on-3, Ovechkin's going to score on that 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
And they did tonight. And that was just an embarrassing move by the league to give them a 5-on-3 to try and get Washington back in the series. Officials' job and the league's job is not to manage the series or manage the game. You're supposed to call the balls and the strikes, and that penalty was not calling the balls and the strikes. Fortunately, Carolina got some power plays there at the end, but we had most of that game where Washington was getting all the calls, and I'm sorry, Washington's too dirty of a team for that to be the case.
Yeah, I would agree with some of that. Sam, let's go ahead and go to an ad, and then we'll recap this game more in detail. The NBA 82 game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for all the high skates drama, clutch moments, and jaw-dropping plays. I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? It's your call. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 $200 in bonus bets instantly. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Okay, Sam. First period. Honestly, I thought Carolina came out a little bit flat in that first period. A little bit like the last game, but the difference is it didn't take them a period and a half to get to their game. It
And
took
I
them
think,
probably halfway to the first, probably.
yeah, I actually think I thought Washington was good for about 5 to 6 minutes. I wouldn't even say half, and then I saw the ice started to tilt. Washington, in order for them to get back into the series, are going to have to do what they did in Game 3, right? Dominate an entire first period, but they have to beat Freddie Anderson, which they have not been able to do, but twice in the last 2 games. And again, one of those was gift wrapped to them as a 5-on-3. I really don't count that against Freddie Anderson by any stretch of the imagination. Honestly, I don't blame him for any of the 2 goals tonight. They weren't on him by at all. But I mean, tonight was not as dominant for Washington for that first period. They had about, again, 6-7 minutes where
Yeah,
they were
I
the
would
better
agree with
team.
that.
And then it started to go back and forth a little bit, which I think wore out Washington because, again, their
They
best
don't play
players
that
are.
type of game.
No, they don't. We don't either, but we're faster and younger, so we
Yes.
can get away with it. If it delves into a back and forth game,
It benefits the
we can keep up.
Hurricanes.
It does. Apparently, Washington scored a lot of their goals on the transition this season. But if the whole game is being played where it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, their older guys are going to start to suffer, like Ovechkin. And that's the problem. Washington's an older team still. They can't keep up that way.
No, they can't. But Sam, it is Shane Goss's spare that opens the scoring for Carolina. Boy, he loves making me nervous by moving that puck along that blue line, Sam, because he was that close to getting offsides. But Gostisberg
Yes.
kept the puck in, and he saw KK was kind of screening Thompson there. He shoots it, and it goes in. Good for KK for the screen. 1-0 Canes, and Sam, I was happy to see that goal. Because I honestly thought, like, even before the 2 goals that Washington scored, I've always thought the magic number for the Canes to win was probably going to be 3 goals.
Yep. Turned out to be right.
And yeah, it did turn out to be right, but it did leave us some concern. But great goal by Shane Goss's spare. I thought he had a much better game this game, I would say.
Better game. He's who I blame for the first goal, though.
Yeah. Yep.
He's who I blame for the first goal, and we were lucky because Burns was a dumpster fire for the first 7 to 10 minutes of this game again.
Yeah,
like
Burns
Washington's Washington's 2 best chances were because Burns got absolutely turned around and walked. He cannot come back on this team next year. He is too old, and it is starting to show that he's getting tired. That is just a big reason why I want this series to end on Thursday. That dude needs a break.
Yeah, he kind of does need a break. I love Burns, but I think the coach kind of showed that a little bit with Burns. I mean, listen, I think Brendan Moore loves Burns. There's
Absolutely.
no doubt about it. But Sam, I'm sure you noticed he put Walker up with Slavin at one point, and then he had Ghost and Burns as a pair. I don't know how I feel about that, but I like the Slavin Walker.
That scared the snot out of me.
I like the Slave and Walker pair, and because I think Walker's been very, very good. I mean, my gosh, this game was. I mean, he was freaking fantastic. But then in the second period, you have Carolina scoring again. It's Seth Jarvis, and I would say out of all the lines, I thought the Aho line, whenever they're out on the ice, they almost scored pretty much every shift. They were that good.
Yeah, I agree completely. I'm curious, so I'm checking the time on ice for the
Oh,
defenseman because
oh,
I was
oh,
curious.
okay.
Oh, I'm kind of curious. Tonight, Shane Gostisbehere played the least amount of minutes, followed by Walker, Burns, Chatfield, Orlov, and tonight Slavin played more.
Slavin, yep. Slavin played with 24 minutes. Burns with 20 minutes. So he was the second.
Oh, that's
And
not what I'm
then,
seeing.
and the, really? For this game.
Yeah, I'm looking at natural stat trick.
That's weird because the NHL website says Burns played 20 minutes of ice time.
Oh, that's not what I'm seeing.
We're getting
Natural
conflicting.
stat trick says 14. Oh, wait a sec. I'm looking at 5-on-5. Let's switch it. It had it at the wrong thing. So Jacob Slavin was the number one defenseman tonight for sure. So it was Slavin, Burns.
And then Orlov. I thought Orlov actually played a really good game.
Orlov was fine tonight. I didn't have any problems with him, but
And Chatfield. I thought the Orlov Chatfield pair was very, very good.
I do think we need to have Burns needs to have his shifts shortened.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Burns, he really does make me nervous. I think like if I was a Capitals fan, like I know like Ovechkin's probably the best goal scorer and all that type of stuff, but he's not the fastest guy, and you could see him getting juked. That's kind of how I feel as a
Look,
Canes fan with Burns. You know?
it is nothing against Ovechkin or Burns. It is they're older. It's a part of life. You slow
Yeah.
down, and you get worn out, and they're both worn out. Both of them are. Like you can just watch. Like Burns is he's losing the steps. He's getting beat.
Although he did try very late in the game, try to bring a puck in all by himself, I think on the power play, if you remember that.
Yeah. Look, I love Burns. I love that we got him. It's just a reality that he's just too slow. And
Yeah.
it's getting beat. It's just a fact of when you get that older, and he's getting on occasions you just see him getting abused, and it's like
Yeah. But Sam, you know what? Seth Jarvis, he scores for the Canes, making it 2-0. Great goal there. I mean, again, a dominant shift from the Aho line because Aho he does a slap shot, and Jarvis was able to find the loose puck because it bounced up and down, and Jarvis just finds that open area between the pad and the goalpost. He makes it in. It's 2-0. Sam are feeling good heading into the third. And then came that defensive breakdown in which Jacob Chichurin scored, or Chikrin, my bad. And I mean, I don't fault Anderson there.
Nope.
I really don't.
Oh, that was a ghost.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of that goal, but it was one of those things where going into the third, I was like, they're gonna score. Like, there's no way they get shut out twice. I was like, there's just no way. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend. At some point I was actually like, are they really going to have Anderson do another shutout? Because shutouts in the playoffs, Sam, don't happen often.
Nope.
Rarely do they happen.
Nope.
And I mean, okay, you let in 2 goals, but listen, you only let in 2 goals in 2 games. That's really good. And to me, honestly, I say you are most likely going to win both games if you limit the opposition to 2 goals. So I think very, very good. And another thing too, Sam, I want to talk about Hurricanes penalty kill. I mean, I know
Yes.
they got scored on the 5-on-3, but I mean, you have Martinook taking the double minor. Boy, that double minor penalty kill was just amazing. And the Canes got the best chance on that 2-on-1 chance with Robinson and Aho. My gosh, wasn't that just fantastic, Sam?
Oh yeah. No, I mean it was impressive, very impressive. It's you do something like that as a team, you're looking to you're special, and this team seems to be pretty special right now.
Yes, and I actually talked to my dad after the game. I don't know if you heard this on the broadcast team for TNT, but apparently I think they said that they think Anderson is the best goalie right now
Yeah,
in the
that's what
playoffs.
Henrik Lundqvist is put him as number one. Um, so that's what you want to, it's just a fact. He's the best goalie right now. And that's why, again, having 2 days off, I think is good. So
Yes.
that's important.
Yes, it really is. And I think with having 2 days off, I mean, I do think you play Anderson in the next game. I don't think there's a debate on that. But Sam,
No.
Taylor Hall gets a breakaway goal the next goal for the Hurricanes. I'm telling you, Hall, I mean, he deserved the first star in my mind. I thought he was the best player for the Hurricanes this game. I seriously did. Taylor Hall was freaking amazing.
Hall was good. I don't know. I thought
There were a lot of players that played good.
our first line looked really good tonight. I thought Martinook looked really good tonight. Stahl looked really good tonight.
Svech looked really good.
Yeah, Svetch looked great. He's looked great this whole playoffs, which is awesome. Freddie again, outstanding tonight.
Walker, I love me some Walker.
Walker looked very good. Slavin looked very good.
Oh yeah, Slavin, man.
So a lot of very good players tonight, and I love it.
Yeah. And then we already talked about the 5-on-3 goal with Ovechkin. I mean, there were two penalties there. There was the interference with Orlov. That's the penalty I didn't like just because the puck was literally in the vicinity. Literally. So I would have let that go in a playoff game. Now, the trip, I mean, do you call that a penalty? Maybe. But I really did not like the interference penalty.
No, that was a bad call. You can't call that in the playoffs.
I did not like that.
Nope, can't call it in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's just my opinion, but yeah, I don't think you call that in a playoff game.
Look, I've already said my piece on that. I thought it was a biased move. It was a move to try and keep Washington in the series, and it almost worked.
Yeah, it really did because you, me both, I'm sure we're sitting on our seats be like, oh no, it's Washington going to tie this game. Like, oh no. But Sam, you have Sean Walker scoring, and boy, that was a laser of a shot. I think that's a goal that Thompson needs to have. But boy, great shot. He gets an assist from Taylor Hall. So Hall has 2 points in this game. And Walker, man, just wow. I yelled so loud in that arena because I was at that game and I was like, yes, when Walker scored, because I thought that was the dagger.
Yeah,
honestly
I agree.
Was.
Yep, I agree. I thought it was over.
Yes, and then you have Svechnikov scoring on the empty net, Sam. So he now has 7 goals in the playoffs and assists from Stahl and Martinook. Funny enough, that assist to Stahl, first point in the whole playoffs for Jordan Stahl.
That's funny. Good for Stahl. You thought he'd have more. I thought he's been very good in the whole playoffs.
Oh, he has.
But he's not there to score. He's there to shut down. He's done very good at that.
You really took the words out of my mouth. Yes. If he doesn't get points, to me, that's fine. He's not supposed to get the points. He is supposed to shut down the opposition. And I think he has done that very, very well. And Sam, since we have won this game, who would your 3 stars be for this game? Tough, isn't it?
3rd star, Seth Jarvis. That pass to Taylor Hall was just freaking awesome. 2nd star, Freddie Anderson. just again, he's just been so good in the playoffs. I
Yes.
mean, like he's been so good. These slow starts that we've had, we've won these. We've been where we've been because of him. And first star, I mean, you got to be able to take that pass to score the goal. I guess you got to give it to Taylor Hall. Excellent goal.
So my 3 stars. Listen, I love Anderson. I think he's been playing very great, but he gets an honorable mention for me just because I thought there are a few other players that played a little bit more of a noticeable game. I mean, Anderson, like he got a good quality of shots handed to him, and he handled it pretty well. I remember there was a one timer on Anderson, and he stopped it by going down to the ice, and I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
what a save!"
Yep.
But to me, my 3rd star is going to be Sean Walker.
Okay.
I thought he got that game-winning goal. I thought he has played an excellent playoffs, kind of like Anderson. I don't
Yes.
think he's had a bad game yet. He's just, I think, been playing very, very good. And then I would say my 2nd star is going to be Seth Jarvis, because I think Jarvis played a very, very, very excellent game, and he gets an assist on that Taylor Hall goal, and he gets a goal himself. And then to me, the 1st star, I think Taylor Hall gets it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, he was just excellent. And Sam, I am so happy we extended him to 3 years. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Got Taylor Hall for 3 more years, which is amazing, and that means we'll get him when this roster is even better than it is now. So I'm just saying, if this team can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, even if we don't make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, this team is more than capable of winning a Stanley Cup in the years to come with the group that they have basically put together as their core. And Taylor Hall's part of the core now.
Yeah,
I mean, he is.
I
You
agree.
signed him to a long-term deal. He's on the face at the arena. Yeah, he's this dude is he's part of the core, and I think that's just a fact at this point.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is you look at special teams as a whole for the Hurricanes, they actually kind of lost special teams because of the
because the
power
refs
play.
and the league handed them a goal.
Yeah,
If you don't
yeah.
score on a 5-on-3,
Now,
I
the
mean,
power plays Carolina got could have been better. But
sure,
you could also say they're somewhat irrelevant because most of the power plays they got were toward the end of the game. And at that point, it was 2-4 Carolina.
yep,
So there's
didn't
that
matter.
as well. So I would argue while special teams was important, it also wasn't as important as probably other games.
Yeah,
So, but Carolina, great win. Sam, game 5 is Thursday at Washington. I mean, listen, I'd love to get a win at Washington.
just end
I
it.
really would.
Just end
Just
it.
yeah, I really would. Now, am I expecting them to win? Probably not, just because it's hard to play
Yep.
at Capital One Arena. But if you do lose and you come home, I believe Saturday is the home game.
Yep.
Then I think you should win it, because I think Carolina with these 2 home games, Sam, has proven it to be very, very difficult for Washington to win a game on the road.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I think Carolina can win in Washington. I think they're tired. I think they get 2 days off, so maybe that's enough, but I just don't think it is, and I think Carolina is going to come out hot, and I think they're going to win game 5. I think we'll win this in 5. I think it's over in 5.
You think the lines are going to be changed, Andy, with
I think
Washington having home ice?
I don't.
I could see it. I see it, though.
Just because you just won an unbelievable game.
Unbelievable 2 games.
Yeah, and because of the line changes. So, just if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality. If it starts to stop working, sure, go ahead and switch it up. But I'd rather keep them the same because I think these lines are the right ones to go at the moment.
And you and I thought of maybe you play Kachekov after
just close it out.
But no.
Close it out. Close it out. Shut it down. Let's just end this.
Yes. All right. So we will see you guys after game number 5.